What's up, guys? This I think is the seventh or eighth time I've tried to upload a video talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs and, or just in general, I should say. It's been I don't know what the deal is. So here's take 8, 9, 10, 11, I guess you would say. Before we get this underway, I did finish the Phil Umber's perfect game video. For some odd reason, that will not upload to the net. When I get the opportunity, I will upload that as soon as possible. We also got another Seattle Mariners game coming. They did a little turn back the clock night where they wore Seattle Rangers uniforms, so you'll get that eventually. Just depends on whether or not my computer and the internet want to upload the videos. So, that being said, got a lot to cover. So, to recap my second round predictions, I did not do as well as I did in the first round when I went 7-1 of the NHL playoffs. I went 1-3, and the only prediction I got correctly was the LA Kings over the St. Louis Blues. I had the Flyers over the New Jersey Devils. That did not happen, and I had the Washington Capitals over the New York Rangers. I wanted to see the Capitals go to the conference finals, and I based the Flyers and Devils series on a coin flip. Didn't mind seeing either team. And then the other Western Conference series, didn't mind seeing Nashville or Phoenix. I had based that on a coin flip, and I had Nashville going to the conference finals. That did not happen. I had the the Phoenix Coyotes win. So I went 1-3, which made my overall record 8-4. Now to the round that I did produce a video. I didn't like it. Tried to refilm it, and it got deleted. So here's a recap of my predictions. It was never said on camera. It wasn't. But here's what I wanted to see in the conference finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals, I wanted to have the New Jersey Devils take out the New York Rangers. Funny story, actually, about that. As you probably, if you watch me on a regular basis, you'll know I have some roots that are tied to New York. And the Islanders are the only team that I root for that are in the New York area, and I root for on a consistent basis. I'll root for the Mets if they get to the playoffs. I mean, I was born in Queens. I was born right next to Shea Stadium, but really not too much of a Mets fan. And then depending on, the situation, I may or may not root for the Jets or Giants. Not rooting for the Yankees or Knicks. I used to be a huge New York Knicks fan, actually. But anyway, I bring that up because I was with my family, and I said I never thought I would say this since I have ties to New York, and that is go New Jersey. And my father, who was born and raised in New York, looked at me and went, "The Devils?" And my father's not a sports fan like I am. And I said, "Yeah, the Devils are playing the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals." And he goes, "Why aren't you rooting for the Rangers?" And I said, "Because I'm an Islanders fan." He says, "Get out of the house." So I was kicked out of my house for a night. No, I'm just kidding. Although my father was not very happy that I was rooting against the Rangers. He, of course, reminded me for the umpteenth time that if I want a copy of my birth certificate, I have to send the request to NYC. Anyway, so the Devils, I'm really happy the Devils won. I did not want to come on here and have a rant about the Rangers going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Mainly the reason why I didn't want them to go is not just because I'm an Islanders fan, but I mean, if the Rangers go to the Stanley Cup Finals now, with the state of the way the Islanders are, I mean, we don't even know if they're going to play in the New York area. And if you know any rumors, please let me know. I've heard that Brooklyn is their top target right now. I've also heard things like Kansas City, Quebec City. If Seattle gets this arena deal, the Islanders could be moving out here. I would feel bad for the Long Islanders, but, I mean, it put me in a really awkward situation. But, since the Rangers did not win, thank you very much. Thanks to the New Jersey Devils, they don't have to deal with that. Although time is running out for that Islanders new arenas. At least they'll be on, they're supposed to play on Long Island for at least 2015. I don't know if their owner, Charles Wang or Wong, whatever you want to call him, the owner, um, is going to pull Clay Bennett and try and get out of the lease early. So we got the Devils. I did get that one right, and then I was undefeated because I picked the LA Kings. What in the world is going on with the LA Kings right now? I mean, we got Game 3 tonight. You know, by the time this gets uploaded, I mean they could be, they could easily be up 3-0 in the series. A lot of people, at least Barry Melrose on ESPN, is already saying this series is already over. But man, I went down to Southern California for a week and was fortunate enough to see a Kings game. The Lakers played a game when I was down there, but more of a hockey fan. So, and I got a steal on LA Kings tickets. I mean, I was in the nosebleed, but man, it was great to see another NHL game and another NHL arena and that type of deal. But the Kings, when I saw them, it was in February, and they could not put the puck on net to save their life. And lo and behold, out of all the teams they played, was the Western Conference runner-up, being the Phoenix Coyotes. And saw the Coyotes win. The Coyotes actually won 1-0. So I picked LA because since they shut out the Kings, couldn't really hear the goal horn, the goal song, and that type of deal. But if the Coyotes won, I would have probably rooted for them anyway with what's going on with them in terms of moving and bankruptcy and that type of deal. But that being said, I was really expecting a much closer series between those two teams than it was. When I saw them play against each other, the shots on goal were something like 28-25. Both goaltenders, Jonathan Quick and Mike Graham, were just unbelievable that night. It was the best defensive hockey game I've ever seen. We're talking like block shots, clearing the puck. There were a couple of fights, and so that being said, my impression of the Kings this year were, they'll probably be lucky to get to the playoffs. I thought the Pacific Division was a little weak, considering that you had teams who are not historically good had an opportunity to go to the playoffs, them being the Phoenix Coyotes and the LA Kings. I know Dallas was good a couple years back, but they were kind of this year. The Sharks were very streaky because at one point they were up here and then they were down here, and there you go. But man, I don't know what the heck got into that team. I mean, if they pull this off and win the cup, I'm gonna put it up there in the same category that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are in, as in one of the biggest flukes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I am rooting for the Kings because I saw them, but I mean, geez Louise, I mean, this is just ridiculous. An 8 seed just going that far and potentially winning the cup. I mean, it's happened once with the Edmonton Oilers, but still. So because of the predicting correctly with the conference finals, as I digress, I am now 8-4. Done pretty well with NHL predictions thus far. And I know the series is underway, and again, Game 3 is tonight, but I'm going with the Kings. Again, the same reason why I had them in the conference, winning the conference finals. Just because they took out the number 1 seed in the Western Conference in the first round. They took down the number 2 seed in the second round. They took down the number 3 seed in the third round. They can take care of a 6 seed. I mean, Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils are going to have to put pressure on the Kings like none other. But when it comes down to it, I mean, the Devils have more pressure than the Kings do. Because Marty Brodeur, great goaltender. I mean, he might be playing in his final year. He's got some pressure under him. The Devils, for the most part, as a franchise, have been here more frequently than the Kings. But the Kings, I mean, they're the 8 seed, and they're playing with a lot of swagger, and I mean, they're like I said, they're really streaking right now, and Jonathan Quick is just playing out of his mind between the pipes. I mean, I know he was a good goaltender, but when I think good goaltenders, he's not one that comes to mind. That he's not like the first choice. He's like one of those guys where you're like, oh yeah, Jonathan Quick, he's pretty good. He's not one of those guys that are just gonna flat out like, oh my God, it's Jonathan Quick. But he's playing extremely well right now. So So that's who I have. I have the Los Angeles Kings over the New Jersey Devils. So I'll recap the pick, and we'll go from there, provided this gets up to the net. So thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be back to filming videos and talking on a more regular basis. Thanks for your patience, and we'll see you next time.